progress report says we are at stage 10, paragraph page 937.
Mm-hmm.
Last headword was procession, new word type of lesson.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, let me click first. 937. Oh, 931.
Mhm.
931. Okay, here we go. Do you
Mhm.
ever feel tempted to move to another country permanently? Do you ever
Mhm.
feel tempted to move to another country permanently? Yes or no?
Oh yes.
Sometimes
I
feel
sometimes
tempted
feel
to
tempted
move to
to
another
move to
country
another country
permanently.
permanently.
Which country and why? Which country and why?
Hawaii
Hawaii and why?
because it's so comfortable climate all day.
It has comfortable climate all day. Very good. It's tropical. Very good.
Yeah.
Next, what's the classic way of tempting a donkey to move? What's the classic way of tempting a donkey to move? A classic way
A
of
classic way
tempting a
of
donkey
tempting
to
the
move
donkey
is
to
by
move
tying a
is
carrot
by tying a
on a piece of
carrot
string
to the string
on a piece of string
on a piece of string
to the end of a
to the
stick
end of the
and
stick
hanging the carrot
and hanging the
a step
carrot
away
a step
from the
away
donkey's
from the
nose
donkey's nose
so that he
so
is
that
tempted
he is
to
tempted
move forward
to move
to eat
forward
it.
to eat it.
However, as the stick
However,
is fixed
as the stick
to
spit
the donkey,
to the
the
donkey,
carrot remains
the carrot
out of
remains
reach,
out of
and
reach,
so the donkey
and so the donkey
keeps walking.
keeps walking.
Gregid, when you visit a place of historic interest, do you prefer to be shown around by a guide? When you visit a place of historic interest, do you prefer to be shown around by a guide? Yes or no?
Oh yes,
When I visit
when I
a
visit
place of
a place of
historic interest,
historic
I
interest,
prefer to be
I
shown
prefer to
around
be shown around
by a guide.
by a guide.
Why? Why? Because?
Because I am interested in history
Mhm.
and mm, I want to more
I want to learn more
learn more
from the guide.
from the guide.
Very good. Okay. What kind of work does an engineer do? What kind of work does an engineer do? An engineer
An
does.
engineer,
Oh, one
God,
more. The kind of
uh,
work
the kind of
an
work
engineer does
an engineer does
is connected
is
with
connected
the building of
with the
machines,
building machines,
houses,
houses,
bridges, ships,
bridges,
etc.
ships,
Ships,
etc.
etc. Very good. What kind of gift would you be most grateful to receive for your next birthday? What kind of gift would you be most grateful to receive for your next birthday? The kind
Mhm.
of gift
The kind of gift
I'd be most
I'd
grateful
be most grateful
to
to
receive
receive
for my next birthday.
for my
My
next
next
birthday
would be
would be a lot of money.
very good. Okay. What does it mean when a parcel or document is marked urgent? What does it mean when a document or parcel is marked urgent? When a parcel
When a
or
parcel
document
or a
is
document
marked urgent,
is marked
it
urgent,
means that
it
the
means
person
that the
who's
person
sending it
who's sending it
wants it to arrive
wants it to
or
arrive
be attended
or be
as soon
attended
as possible.
as soon as possible.
Where if the police believe a bomb was about to explode in a public place, what would they do? If the police believe a bomb was about to explode in a public place, what would they do? If the police believe
If the police
a bomb
believed
was about a bomb was
a
about
bomb was about
to explode
to
in a
explode
public
in a public
place, they would clear
place,
the
they
area
would clear the area
as quickly as
as
possible.
quickly as possible.
Very good. Is a person's most precious possession always the ones that worth the most money? Is a person's most precious possession always the ones that worth the most money? No. A
No,
person's
a
most
person's
precious
most
possession
precious possession
isn't always the
isn't
one
always the
that's
one
worth
that's
the
worth
most money.
the most money.
Which precious metals are usually used to make jewelry. Which precious metals are usually used to make jewelry? The precious
The
metals
precious
that
metals
are usually
that are
used
usually
to
used
make jewelry
to make
are
jewelry
gold and
are
silver.
gold and silver.
Very good. Why do we sometimes hesitate before doing something? Why do we sometimes hesitate before doing something? We sometimes
We
hesitate
sometimes hesitate
before doing something
before doing something
because we are
because
not sure
we are not
what
sure
the
what the
consequences might
consequences
be.
might be.
Very good. What do we pump or what do we use a pump for? What do we use a pump for? We use a pump
We use a
to
pump
force
to
liquid
force
or
liquid
gas
or
from
gas
one place to
from one place
another.
to another.
Very good. Why should a cyclist always carry a pump on their bicycle? Why should a cyclist always carry a pump on their bicycle? A cyclist
A
should
cyclist
always
should
carry
always
a
carry
pump
a
on their
pump
bicycle
on their
so
bicycle
that if
so
they
that
have to
if
mend
they have to
a
mend
puncture
a
by the
puncture
side of the
by
road,
the side of the road,
they can pump up
they can
the
pump
tire
up the
afterwards.
tire afterwards.
Where the most cheap printers have trouble reproducing colors correctly. Do most cheap printers have trouble reproducing colors correctly? Yes, most
Yes,
cheap
most
printers
cheap
have
printers
trouble
have
reproducing
trouble
colors
to produce colors
correctly.
correctly.
Where do you prefer to see good reproductions of famous paintings hanging on the walls in a house or original paintings by less well-known artists? Do you prefer to see good reproductions of famous paintings hanging on the walls in a house or original paintings by less well-known artists? I prefer to
I
see
prefer to see good reproductions
of famous
of
paintings
famous
hanging
paintings
on the walls
hanging on the
in a
wall
house
in a house
than original
than
paintings
original
by less
paintings
well-known
by
artists.
less well-known artists.
Very good. Are you the type of person who squeezes a tube of toothpaste in the middle, or do you always squeeze it at the end? Are you the type of person who squeezes a tube of toothpaste in the middle, or do you always squeeze it at the end? I'm the type of
I'm the
person
type of person
who squeezes
who
a
squeezes
tube of
a
toothpaste
tube of toothpaste in the in the end
in the end.
at
Where
the
at
at
the
the
at
end
the end.
at the end.
Very good. One more. I'm the type of person
I'm the type of
who
person
squeezes
who
a
squeezes
tube of
a
toothpaste
tube of
at the
toothpaste
end.
at the end.
Very good. Do you think that eating with one's mouth open is a disgusting habit? Do you think that eating with one's mouth open is a disgusting habit? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I don't
that
think
eating
that
with
eating
one's mouth
with
open
one's mouth open
is a disgusting
is a
habit.
disgusting habit.
Very good. Okay, what's this? What's this? It's the collar
It's the
of your
color of
shirt.
your shirt.
What do we mean by a white collar worker? What do we mean by a white collar worker? By a white
By a
collar
white
worker,
collar
we
worker,
mean someone
we mean
who
someone
works in
who
an
works
office
in an
or
office
other
or
professional
other
environment.
professional environment.
Where on what kind of occasions do we congratulate people? On what kind of occasions do we congratulate people? We congratulate
We
people
congratulate
when
people
they have won
when they
a
have won
prize,
a prize,
passed an exam,
passed an exam,
got married,
got
etc.
married, etc.
Where on what kind of occasions do people speak solemnly? On what kind of occasions do people speak solemnly? The kind of
The kind
occasions
of occasions
people speak
people
solemnly
speak
are
solemnly
funerals,
are funerals,
state ceremonies,
ceremonies,
state ceremonies,
state ceremony,
etc.
etc.
Regard which three substances do we need to make pastry? Which three substances do we need to make pastry? The three
The
substances
three
that we
substances
need
that we
to make
need
pastry
to make
are
pastry
flour,
are
fat,
flour,
and water.
fat, and water.
Regard why are harbors and ports often built in bays? Why are harbors and ports often built in bays? Harbors and ports
Harbors and ports
are often built
are often
in
built
bays
in bays
because the sea
because the
in a
sea
bay
in the bay
is calmer
is
and
calmer
it's usually
and it's
less
usually
windy.
less windy.
Very good. Describe a tent. Describe a tent, please. A tent
A
is a
tent
small
is
structure
a small
made
structure
of
made
waterproof
of
canvas
waterproof canvas
or nylon,
or nylon
supported on poles,
supported on the pole
and is used
and is used
for sleeping in
for sleeping in
when we go camping.
when we go camping.
Very good. Do you despair easily when things are not going well? Do you despair easily when things are not going well? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
despair
don't
easily
despair
when
easy
things
when
are
things
not going
are
well.
not going well.
Very good. What is a vessel? What is a vessel? A vessel
A
is any
vessel
kind of
is any kind of
container for
container
liquid,
or liquid,
such as a cup,
such as a
a
cup,
bottle, a
a
drum,
bottle, a
etc.
drum, etc.
We can also
We
call
can also
a ship
call
a
a
vessel,
ship a
and
vessel,
the tubes
and the
that
tubes
carry blood
that carry blood
round the body
round the
are
body
called blood
are
vessels.
called blood vessel.
Very good. What do we mean by prejudice? What do we mean by prejudice? By prejudice,
By
we
prejudice,
mean
we
an
mean
unreasonable
and or
opinion.
opinion.
One more. By
Um,
prejudice,
by
we
prejudice,
mean
we mean
an unreasonable
unreasonable
opinion about
opinion
someone
about someone
or something
or something
which we form
which we form
without knowing
without
what
knowing
the other person
what the other
or
person
thing
or
is
thing
actually like.
is actually like.
Very good. Which color do we get if we mix the colors red and blue together? Which color do we get if we mix the colors red and blue together? If we mix
If we mix
the colors
the
red
colors
and blue
red
together,
and blue
we get
together,
purple.
we get purple.
Very good. What's a monarchy? What's a monarchy? A monarchy
A
is a
monarchy
form of
is a
government
form of a
in
government
which the head of
in
state
which the head of
is a
state
monarch,
is a
such
monarch,
as a king
such as king
or queen.
or queen.
What's a republic? What's a republic? A republic
A
is a
republic
country
is a
that
country
is run by
that
a
is
government
run by a government
elected by the people
elected by the people
and which does
and
not
which
have
does not
a
have
monarch.
a monarch.
Where do you find that the tunes to certain television commercial stays in your head for a long time? Do you find that the tunes to certain television commercials stay in your head for a long time? Yes or no?
No,
I don't find it
I don't find it
that the
that
tunes
the
to
tunes
certain
to
television
certain, certain television commercials
commercials stay in my head
stay in my
for a
head
long time.
for a long time.
One more. No, I don't
No,
find
I don't
that
find
the tunes
that the
to
tunes
certain
to certain
television commercials
television commercials
stay in my head
stay in my
for a
head
long
for
time.
a long time.
Very good. Okay. What do I mean if I say I have a dozen eggs in my fridge? What do I mean if I say I have a dozen eggs in my fridge? If you say
If you
you
say
have a
you
dozen
have a
eggs
dozen
in
eggs
your fridge,
in your
you
fridge,
mean
you
you have
mean
12
you
eggs.
have 12 eggs.
Very good. In a popular tourist resort, are there normally dozens of places to eat? In a popular tourist resort, are there normally dozens of places to eat? Yes. In a
Yes,
popular
in a popular
tourist resort,
tourism
there
resort,
are normally
there are normally
dozens of places
dozens
to eat.
of places to eat.
Very good. Why mustn't an army officer get too familiar with his men? Why mustn't an army officer get too familiar with his men? An army
An
officer
army officer
mustn't get
mustn't get
too familiar
too familiar
with his men
with his men
because if he
because
becomes a
if he
friend,
becomes a friend,
they may not
they
obey
may
him.
not obey him.
Very good. Why would it be inadvisable to buy a car without taking it for a test drive first? Why would it be inadvisable to buy a car without taking it for a test drive first? It'd be
Mhm. It would be
inadvisable to
inadvisable
buy a car
to buy a car
without taking it
without taking
for
it
a test drive
for a
first
test drive first
because
because we are not sure that the car is safe to drive
Very
and
good.
suitable
And
for
suitable for
our needs.
very good. Suitable for our need. Very good answer.
Hmm.
Next, why do we say diamonds are forever? Why do we say diamonds are forever? We say
We say
diamonds are forever
diamonds are forever
because they
because
don't wear out
they don't wear out
and they seldom
and they
lose
seldom
their value.
lose their value.
So very good. Okay. Next, why do you think funeral processions move so slowly? Why do you think funeral processions move so slowly? I think
Hmm. I think
funeral processions
funeral positions
move so slowly
move so slowly
because
because we should take time to pray for the deceased person.
deceased deceased person.
Diseased person. Mm.
Very good. We should take time to pray for the deceased person. Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
correct. Very good. Okay, and that's the end of our revision. Let's have
Mm-hmm.
new word. Okay, very good. Okay, so repeat exaggerate.
Exaggerate.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word exaggerate is a verb. When
Mm-hmm.
you tell a story to a child, you sometimes exaggerate in order to make the story more interesting. So you exaggerate
Mm-hmm.
the story. You bend the truth. For example, the dog was very big. It's bigger than a house. So that's exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's practice. When telling stories about things that happen to them, do some people exaggerate in order to make the stories more interesting? When telling stories about things that have happened to them, do some people exaggerate in order to make the stories more interesting? Yes, when
Yes,
telling
when
stories
telling stories
about things
about
that
things
have happened
that
to
have
them,
happened to them,
some people
some
exaggerate
people
in
exaggerate
order to
in
make the
order to
stories
make the story
more interesting.
more interesting.
Very good. What do we mean by a modest lifestyle? What do we mean by a modest lifestyle? By a modest
By a modest
lifestyle, we
lifestyle,
mean a
we
lifestyle
mean a lifestyle
with a lot of lux.
with
Oh,
a lot
I'm
of
sorry.
mm,
That's another one. Okay, so repeat
mhm,
modest
modest
luxury.
luxury.
Very good. Okay. Oh, it's like modest and luxury. Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay, listen. Modest is an
Mhm.
adjective. It
Mhm.
means not very large. For
Mhm.
example, I live in a modest house. The house where I live
Mhm.
is simple and not big. A
Mhm.
modest person is someone who does not boast about his achievements.
Mhm.
Luxury is a noun. It is something that is expensive. For example,
Mhm.
a house with a lot of luxury is a house which has a lot of expensive things in it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, let's practice. What do we mean by a modest lifestyle? What do we mean by a modest lifestyle? By a
Mhm.
modest
By a
lifestyle,
modest
we mean
lifestyle,
a
we
lifestyle
mean a lifestyle
without a lot of
without
luxury.
a lot of luxury.
What do we mean by a modest person? What do we mean by a modest person? By a modest
By
person,
a modest
we
person,
mean someone
we mean
who
someone
doesn't boast
who
about
doesn't boast about
or exaggerate
or
his
exaggerate
achievements.
his achievement,
Very good. Next, repeat reputation.
reputation.
Very good. Okay, listen. Reputation is a noun. It is
Mhm.
what most people think or say about someone or something. For example,
Mhm.
if a
Mhm.
hotel treats its guests perfectly, that hotel can develop a good reputation.
Mhm.
My colleague at work is always late and always absent at work. He has a bad reputation in the office. Okay,
Mm.
let's practice. How can a hotel or restaurant develop a bad reputation? How can a hotel or restaurant develop a bad reputation? A
Mhm.
hotel or restaurant
Hotel or
can
restaurant
develop a
can
bad
do develop
reputation
a bad reputation
by treating its
by treating
customers badly,
the customers badly,
overcharging them,
overcharging them,
providing a poor
providing
service,
overcover service,
a poor service,
a poor service,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Next, repeat conscience.
Conscience.
Very good. Okay, listen. Conscience is a noun. When we say we have a guilty conscience, it means that we have done something wrong and we
Mhm.
are worried about it. We feel guilty about what we did. So that's our conscience. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's practice. What do we mean if we say we have a guilty conscience? What do we mean if we say we have a guilty conscience? If we say
Mhm. If we
we
say
have a guilty
we have
conscience,
a guilty conscience,
it means
it
we
means
we have done
we
something
have
wrong
done something
and
wrong
we are worried about
and
it.
we are worried about it.
Usually,
Usually,
we have not been
we have not been
found
done,
found out or
found out
punished,
or punished,
but we still feel
but we still feel
uncomfortable about it.
uncomfortable about it.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Hmm.
Very good. Okay, so our reading is at stage 8, paragraph
Hmm.
page. Okay, please start at page 647. Whoa.
Vote. Okay, vote. How old must you be before you can vote in elections in this country? We must be 18 years old before you